As I grew up, I constantly heard so many horror stories from people in movies or friends of our family. When you get into middle school, there's gonna be so many bullies trying to steal your lunch money, and your teachers are gonna be evil dragon monsters with horns on each of their 50 eyeballs! But as soon as I got there, I realized how different the reality was from fantasy. On the first day, I walked in with all of the confidence in the entire world. I walked down the long, cavernous hallways and to my class. Before I started, I had the mindset of, look dude, you're going into a new school. You need to be the coolest guy around. No more sitting by yourself at recess playing with your stuffed animal frog like, I'm gonna dance on your book. So in preparation, I pre-planned a whole bunch of conversation starters, and I had already sucked up to my teacher beforehand. Middle school is an embarrassing time of your life. Even if you might think what you were doing as you were in it is not embarrassing, you will look back at it and want to jump off the Grand Canyon. For example, when I was in this one math class, our teacher had given us one of those large multiplication tables, and we had to fill out all 100 questions in 10 minutes. Of course, to the little boy I was, the difficulty of this task was similar to me getting my grandma across a busy intersection in time. Move, Grandma! And I cried. But the beauty of this story is that I learned my lesson afterwards. Just look at me now! Okay guys, let's do this!
45, 0, 4.
Shoot.
21 and 9.
Boom! Another embarrassing thing I remember, not for me luckily, was during one of my music classes where we were learning and singing a bunch of 80s songs, and while we were singing one of them, this kid jumped out of the bleachers and began to dance around the room and singing the wrong notes way too loudly. Don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling. If you couldn't tell, I kinda sorta like doing art. And in middle school, I loved to make these little comic books during class and pass them around to my classmates. Luckily, my English teacher didn't really mind all that much, and I never really got in trouble for it. But I mean, man, that was such the beauty of middle school. If I tried doing that in my classes nowadays, there would be a kid in the back of the class like, hey, yo, who is this nerdy McButtface who made this stupid comic strip? Nah, at the end of this class, whoever made this, meet me in the bathroom so I can beat the— Yeah. High school is where the bullying really starts. When I entered middle school, I thought that suddenly bullies were going to be rampant in the halls, with kids getting shoved into lockers and shaken from the legs. But in reality, bully happens in different ways than what I expected. People like to use their words rather than their fists, and people like to use their fingers more than their words. Now, granted, when I was in middle school, it was still pretty uncommon for kids to have phones, but as time has gone on, it's become very common for people to communicate with one another during the school day. And this has led to unimaginable amounts of bullying that's never really been seen before. The fact that it's so easy for people to make fun of someone without anyone even knowing has made this non-physical type of bullying the new standard. This kind of bullying is difficult to cope with, considering the fact that you aren't usually able to fight back. And different people's thoughts can get thrust out into the open without any fear of consequences. Now, science has tried to dig deep into ways this can be fixed, some successful and some not. And if you need help navigating this kind of bullying in your life, talk to a trusted adult. Pretty please, with a cherry on top. I loved a lot of the teachers I had in middle school. One of my favorites had a very unique laugh that I even ended up copying by the end of the year, as he did it so much during class. It went a little like this. He was a great guy. I never understood the people who are constantly against their teachers. These people are such intelligent people who, most of the time, are actually genuine and passionate about sharing something with the whole group of people. And if you ever need anything, these people will always be there to listen to you. And if you don't like the teacher you have, try getting to know them a little more. When you are interested in what they teach, they'll become your favorite teacher ever. I know from experience, I've hated a lot of those old farts before. This one time when that teacher was teaching, a few of the stinky, sporty kids in the back of the classroom were making a bunch of weird, sporadic noises. Hey, oh no. And the teacher got fed up and ended up doing something unintentionally hilarious. Guys, cut it out. You guys need to start acting more mature. Do you think that I would walk around the grocery store with my bread going... It may seem like all of the stuff you learn about useless history facts in middle school is useless, and that you'll never need it again in your life. But I constantly surprise myself, as one of the nerds who actually paid attention in middle school, how much stuff comes back in high school that you already knew, making it easier to remember for more important high school classes. Psst. Do you remember if Hitler was a good guy or a bad guy? A bad guy. Okay. How did you even know that? The teacher never went over that. I learned it in middle school. Well, anyways, to answer everyone's burning question, middle school is just fine. It's a very easy transition from elementary school into the high school, in my opinion, and it's a place to just make some lifelong, embarrassing memories. You won't get your lunch money taken, and you won't get a swirly in the toilet. My biggest advice for anyone who is still in it, or is about to be, make best friends sooner rather than later, because it's the perfect time to meet people and develop a deep friendship, because if you don't do it now, it will be much harder to do in high school, and you'll wish you had done it previously. Goodbye!